A man struggling to get by decides maybe robbing McDonald's would help his family out, and it does, until he gets caught. If you are a sucker for a good stranger than fiction story, Roofman might be the most you cannot make this up movie I've seen in a long time. The crazy part is that almost everything in the movie actually happened. This is the true story of Jeffrey Manchester, a guy who robbed something like 40 McDonald's by cutting holes in the roof, hence the nickname. And then, after breaking out of prison, hid out for months living inside of a Toys R Us completely unnoticed. I spent the whole movie thinking there's no way half of this stuff was real. Then I did some research and found out that more of it than not actually happened. There were so many things in here I genuinely cannot believe were part of the real story, because I can't believe someone pulled off such a stupid plan for so long without getting caught. This type of movie lives or dies on the lead character, and Channing Tatum was the perfect choice. Jeffrey Manchester is this strange mix of genius-level smarts and a total doofus, a criminal with a heart of gold who just wings his story to people he meets and is so charming that it usually works out for him. Tatum somehow plays all of those things at the same time. He's clever enough to pull off these elaborate break-ins. The guy was in the army, and you can just tell he actually knows what he's doing, but he's dumb enough to keep making the same boneheaded decisions over and over. He's also weirdly polite about the whole thing, the kind of robber who seems to feel a little bad about robbing you. You end up rooting for him the entire time, even though you know he is absolutely in the wrong. Tatum makes you like a guy you have no business liking, and that's not really easy to pull off. Kirsten Dunst plays Lee, the small-town single mom that he falls for. She's completely believable in the part. Nothing about her felt like a Hollywood version of a single mom. She just felt like an actual person, which is what made the whole relationship work. And both of her kids were great as well. They felt like real kids and added some emotional stakes to the story. And I want to give some love to Peter Dinklage as the Toys R Us manager. He plays the kind of mean for no reason boss that I'm pretty sure everybody has had at some point in their life. I spent close to a decade working in retail, and let me tell you, Dinklage nails that overworked, stressed out manager energy. The guy who follows every single rule to the letter and is a jerk about it for absolutely no reason. We know that he has a life outside of the store, but he isn't going to let any of his employees know anything about it. To them, he lives and breathes Toys R Us. Every scene he was in took me right back to those days working in retail, and not really in a good way, which means he did a great job. More than anything, this movie is just really entertaining. The characters are likable, the pacing never drags, and the story is entertaining and unbelievable. It's directed by Derek Cianfrance, who usually makes heavier, more serious dramas like Blue Valentine or The Place Beyond the Pines. So a fun crime movie like this is a bit of a departure for him, but it works. He keeps things light and breezy without ever losing the heart underneath it all. Tone-wise, I compare it to something like Logan Lucky, which is another Channing Tatum crime dramedy. Roofman is the kind of movie that reminds me exactly why I love true stories so much, because real life is almost always weirder than anything a screenwriter would dare make up. It's funny, it's got a great cast firing on all cylinders, and it's got that, wait, that really happened feeling running through the entire thing. It's well worth your time.